Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Toon Review. Tonight it is West Ham United versus Newcastle United. Big game for Newcastle, of course, straight away after the fantastic victory over Manchester United. This is a big one, although West Ham are not playing very well. Jack, what's your thoughts going into this game? And please talk for about 30 seconds so I can change my internet over. Thank you.
I don't worry, I'm good at that. It's going to be an important 3 points. Arguably as more important than Man United, although that was an important 3 points. But from now on, it's just gaining more points and more points, getting more points on the board. Because of yesterday's result with Tottenham, I feel like we're in the driving seat now for top three, for third place. So as long as we can keep getting 3 points on the board, then that's the most important thing to do. And about West Ham, yes, they're having a poor season, but don't take it for granted. I mean, they have got some good players: Declan Rice, Paqueta, Benrahma. They've got some good players who can do some damage. So we need to be on our game. We need to be on our A game. Do not give them a minute on the ball. Play exactly like we did against Manchester United. Don't give them a second on the ball. Play our football, and it should be a good 3 points for us. But don't underestimate West Ham.
I think, Billy, everybody's looking forward to the obvious clash. Obviously, Paqueta and Bruno. That's going to be a tasty one in midfield. It was interesting that I've seen a couple of comments on social media saying that it'll be interesting if someone else goes through Paqueta and Paqueta gets up to have a go at him, and people saying, who does Bruno stick up for? You can guarantee it'll be his teammates and not Paqueta.
Of course it will. He's a professional. He loves the club. Paqueta's a friend of his, but at the end of the day, he's there to do a job for Newcastle United. That's who pays his wages. That's who he's aligned to. There's no doubt about it that Bruno will stick up for his teammates. And of course, we missed out on this compensation in the first game because Bruno was out, wasn't he? So this is the first time we'll see it this season. West Ham did cause some troubles at St James's Park. Let's not forget that. Probably Paqueta's best game for West Ham, in fact. So it's not done and dusted that we're going to go there and get 3 points. However, if all the quality comes through and push comes to shove, we should get them.
It's a tasty battle, though, Alex, isn't it? I mean, the first time the two of them are going head-to-head in the Premier League, I'm sure they've had a bit of banter away from the football pitch, of course, because obviously the best mates are talk all the time. But they'll have had a bit of banter. But when that kick-off tomorrow, they're both professionals. They'll both be getting down to it for both their teams. But it's going to be a very, very interesting battle.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, he wasn't available. Paqueta wasn't available for West Ham the last time we played. West Ham have been struggling this season. Was it Bruno? It was Bruno, sorry.
Paqueta scored.
The other way around. Of course he did. Yeah, he got around back a Trippier, didn't he? Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Despite West Ham's issues this season, they've got a very balanced side. A midfield of Rice, Souček, and Paqueta. And then, obviously, Bowen is in front of Paqueta. It's really nice on paper. It's nice and fluid. There's a lot of quality, sprinklings of quality in there. Bowen, when he's on his day, Antonio's a fairly solid striker. He's got his drawbacks. And if I got to remind myself who plays on the left, I think it's generally Benrahma, I believe. So it depends, but they've got a nice balanced side. They're good at intercepting. They play a very different style to us. They can play a 4-3-3 in different systems, but in a very different way. But they are a good balanced side. And as Jack said at the beginning, we can't underestimate them. We've got to make sure we play our game when we're careful, because they can punish you. Even with centre-back scoring from a header like they did the other day. So we've got to set up correctly.
Yeah, they're not a great team at the minute. They haven't had a very, very good season at all.
I think they're a good team in a bad run of form. I think they have.
Oh, they've got players. They've definitely got good players, but they're
in that top bracket for 2 seasons. You don't just suddenly, that doesn't just vanish. They've still got that quality in the squad. It's just
Something's
it's
gone
just not
wrong.
really working. Yeah,
Absolutely. Right, guys, tonight we are doing a viewer giveaway. Tomorrow night we'll do a members giveaway. Now, the giveaway for the viewers tonight is the Newcastle United blue and gold away shirt. It is a size XL, which could fit many degrees of people because of Castori's sizes, but maybe he's not Billy, but it can. XL is a good size, I think. So we do have that to give away. Now, how we're going to do this is via super chats. If you super chat £5 or more, you are into the draw to win the shirt. So if you super chat £10, you get 2 entries into the draw, etc., etc. This is how we do it. This is how we've been giving away shirts in the past. So any super chat of £5 or more, you're in the draw. £10 gets you 2, 15, 3, etc. So if you want that opportunity to win the Newcastle United away shirt, get super chatting £5 or more, and you are straight into the draw tonight at the end of the show. So we will get that straight off to you as well. Samsonite, good evening to you. 12-man Toon, good evening. New Jersey Geordie says, evening, boys, let's keep this hot streak up and hammer them. I think we've got to look for a big win, Jack, haven't we? Because, we are in that position now where we are expected to go in. West Ham fans have been on social media so far today, and they're not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah, and why should they not be looking forward to it? Because we're in a brilliant rate. We've started the final stage of the season very, very brightly against a very good, convincing win against Man United, who are in the top 6, and West Ham are down near the bottom of the table. So, yeah, if I was a West Ham fan, I wouldn't be looking forward to it because it's not the team you'd want to play. But I feel like after that convincing win against Man United, I know we say this every single time, but someone is due a beating. Like, really, I mean, it should have been Man United last week with like 6 or 7. Yeah. But once we start putting these chances away, once we start being clinical, I feel like it will be a 5 or 6, like a Brentford 5-1. But yeah, I'm not too surprised why they're not looking forward to it. But I feel like we might win this convincingly again. Yeah. And like Eddie Howe said in his press conference today, our away form has been consistent, and we haven't been awful on our away games. Of course, we're better at home, but I feel like we will win this one. Yeah. But I feel like our away form has been good enough to win. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's one of those games that it'd be very exciting to see how if we can go and get a few goals and dominate the game, because I think we're expected to go there tomorrow and pretty much have the ball.
We do have a good record at London Stadium as well. We do have a very good record there.
We do indeed, yeah. Christopher Murray, thank you very much, Chris, for your $9.99 super chat. We'll give you 2 entries for that into the draw. Thank you very much. George Ricard, thank you for your £10 super chat. He says, don't put me in the draw, Paul. I've already had the top. Okay, no problem. And Pedro, thank you very much for your $4.99 super chat. It won't let me do £5, so he's $4.99. That's fine, mate. You're in the draw. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll spare you a penny, mate. Steve says, Jack's right, that West Ham have some quality players and their league position seems weird to me, but we should have far too much for them. Do you agree with Steve, Billy?
Well, they haven't got his depth, and playing European football Thursday, Sunday through the season, I think that's what's affected them. Yeah, because they get the first 11 out. They're not going to be easy to beat.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think, Alex? I mean, we should have too much for them, shouldn't we? Because of the way they're playing at the minute, unless they suddenly get really up for this game. I mean, teams have gone there and performed really well, and like Jack says, we've got a really good record there.
Yeah, I mean, based off, I watched them against Southampton the other day, and based off how they're playing recently and looking at statistics, we should. Southampton dominated possession. They dominated the game. Fair enough, they were quite poor with their chances. Their shot selection was poor. Southampton was shooting from too far out, and they were lacking quality in the final third. But I think we've got a similar energy to Southampton in terms of, they've got Lavia and they've got sort of a high tempo, or they've been known for that in recent seasons. So we've got that, but a lot better. No disrespect to Southampton intended. We've played them a bunch recently, and we've been a lot better than Southampton. But West Ham, again, we've just got to be careful. They're not too bad at digging out high-quality chances, and they've got some good players. Against Southampton, 8 of their 12 shots were inside the box. They were all reasonably good XG opportunities. You got Zuma got on the end of something. Obviously, Algertu scored. Paquetá got in there. So we've got to be careful of inside the box. But again, that's down to tactics and structure. We can prevent them and limit them as much as possible from getting in the box. We saw what we did to Manchester United. They barely had any touches inside our own box. So you would argue Manchester United are a lot better than West Ham on quality. So there's no reason we shouldn't be able to prevent them from getting high value opportunities inside our box. As long as we just play our game, high tempo, high energy, don't give them much of the ball. They're happy to concede possession even at home. Which I hated it when we used to do that, and I'm glad we don't do it anymore because I prefer attacking football. But we should, as long as we don't turn up and have one of those games where we should score 3 and we score 0. People just be a bit more clinical.
Yeah, I think if we're up to the standard that we were against Manchester United, we should comfortably win the game, in my opinion. However, we've seen it in the past where Newcastle get really up for these big games against the top sides, and the sides that are struggling, we seem to struggle against. And I just hope that isn't the case tomorrow night. I hope we go there with the same attitude, the same intensity, and just go for it. Gary Wishart, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. He says, XL is just right for me. I could do with completing the set. Thank you very much, Gary. That's 2 entries into the draw to win the Newcastle United away shirt. Thank you for letting me know that, Alex. Thank you very much. John says, evening all, I watched the Hammers Chat podcast, giving a very honest opinions by 2 nice lads and giving good comments about us and the owners, not like others I could mention. How did you battle with Oliver Holt goal last night? Did it develop any more, Alex?
I think he replied, because obviously my name on Twitter and on here is with 1 T. It's stat and then an O on the end. I appreciate that if you read it as one word, it says Stato, but I don't want to put double T. I think it's silly. I'd rather it was stat with an O on the end. And he replied to me saying, "Oh, does my name rhyme with potato?"
Oh, honestly.
And it was bizarre. And my comments have got like 100 odd likes, and he's just been absolutely crucified. So thank you for everybody who supported the comment. He's an absolute buffoon, and some of the articles coming out of the Mail and the Mail Sport as well are a little bit questionable. The Vieira to Forest one, Steve Cooper's still in the post. They're being a bit, bit disrespectful across the board to everyone, and derogatory and inflammatory. Show some respect, show some integrity. You're a professional publication. It's
I'm afraid integrity and the Daily Mail don't go together in the same sentence.
No, they're really well. Yeah. Colin Clark, thank you for your €10. That's you into the draw, mate. For two entries into the draw for the Newcastle shirt. Thank you very much. Someone on Facebook says, "Hi guys, hope you're all well. Newcastle 3, West Ham 0. How are the lads? Another big 3 points for us. Great job you're all doing. Thanks all involved in the Toon Review channel. Thank you very, very much." Would-be Farmer says maybe Billy can make some socks out of the shirt.
Possibly.
Yeah. To coin a phrase, good evening to you. Trolls says, and keep forgetting Jack is part of the Toon Review. Hey, Jack, says Trolls. Albie says, looking forward to tonight's show, guys. Another 3 points come Wednesday night. How are the lads? I do apologise that I sound like Sean Dyche is, presenting the show tonight. My voice is, yes. That's just the way it is. And unfortunately, my voice, I thought had been recovered enough, would be okay. But it's that, I don't know whether it's going to stay like this now, whether I've destroyed my vocal cords I don't think it will, but hopefully Northern service will be resumed within the next couple of days. But it's interesting, if I have to go high pitch tomorrow night during the commentary and my voice is still like this, it could be basically anybody. So yeah.
So maybe when you went high pitch last night, that
Yes.
high pitch went, that
Yes.
might have ruined it.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve says, for anybody new, the iPhone YouTube app is rubbish and won't let you super chat 5, 10, 15. So use a computer if you can. Look, if you can only do $4.99, guys, or $9.99, that's fine as well. You'll go into the draw. Don't worry about that. As I say, it's a penny at the end of the day. And you guys are already being very kind by entering yourselves into the draw. So don't worry about that. 12-man Toon, thank you for your $4.99. You're into the draw. Can't wait to lose weight and fit into this XL top you're giving me for my birthday, Paul. Okay. Carl says West Ham's run in Europe has hurt them in the league. Do you think that's right, Jack? Has it hurt them?
Well, like we said earlier, the squad depth has not helped them in the slightest with Europe. I mean, to go into Europe, you need to have squad depth. Otherwise, your players going to have mega fatigue. You're going to be so tired going to every game. And I feel like that has. I feel like they may have. Well, they've got quite far in the Conference League, haven't they? If I'm correct.
Yeah.
I think they've gone quite far. So they've obviously put a lot of effort into the Conference League. Whether it's been easy or not, we don't know. I don't watch too many Conference League games. Whether they put all the heart and soul into them games, that may have ruined them in terms of effort in the Premier League due to squad depth. I don't know because I haven't watched any of the games, but I assume they have tried the hardest in the games. So
the squad depth isn't terrible. I'm just looking. Sorry to interrupt you, Jack, but this Conference League, 16th. So the 16th of March was the last time they played in that. And a rotational squad. So these are players unlikely to, not predicted to start tomorrow. Fornals, Scamacca, Lanzini, Ogbonna, Ben Johnson, Cresswell, Areola. So they've got replacements for all of them. So that's not a terrible drop off in quality when you're playing against AEK Larnaca, whoever that is.
Larnaca, Alex. I believe they're Cypriot. Yeah.
Cypriot. There you go. So, Fornals and Lanzini, I think, is more than adequate to beat a Cypriot team, in my opinion. I think it's not too bad.
Scamacca is an interesting one because he was left out at the weekend, and apparently he left the stadium. But then,
did he?
But then the radio said he's on his way back to the stadium. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. Whether he popped out for a newspaper or something because he wasn't in the squad.
He's in rehab with his knee.
Is that what it is? Well,
I've heard David Moyes say today that he's in rehab with his knee and may need surgery. So,
oh dear.
Well, it's on my FOTMob. It does say Scamacca's the only doubt, injured or suspended. Knee injury, doubtful. That's all it says. It doesn't say when or how or what. So
interesting. Stephen says I was very emotional on Sunday. Moving to New Zealand and was my last game at St James's. We'll be flying the flag down under. Stephen, have a wonderful time. I've got family in New Zealand. It sounds like a wonderful, wonderful place. Obviously doesn't have St James's Park there, but technology the way it is these days, matey, you'll be able to keep in touch with everything going on over here. And of course with the Toon review. James says, I'm not bothered about really thumping a team as long as we keep picking up the wins. I think we need 6 wins for top 4. Yeah, I mean, look, Billy, it's not all about going out there and crushing teams 4 and 5-0, is it? It's playing well. You can have a comfortable 2-0 win, can't you? It's just about playing well, defending well, which we're doing. So it's not all about going out and thrashing teams, is it?
No, it's not. It's all at this stage of the season. It's all about getting results, and whether we scrap a 1-0 win, I don't care. This time of the season, obviously, we want to see us play well and entertain. But at the end of the day, the be all and end all is the points that we want to be getting from each game now. Doesn't matter how we get them. We're at the business end of the season now, aren't we?
Shamrock says, what do you think the minimum requirement points-wise would be for the next 3 away games? Of course, we've got Brentford. We've got West Ham tomorrow. We've got Brentford and then Villa. So 3, I would say Brentford probably the tougher of the 3 games, although Villa have, just burst into some sort of form as well. So they are very tough games. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I would take 7 points. You know, I would take a win at West Ham. A point would be fantastic the way Brentford are playing, and beat Villa. So that's worst case scenario for me. And if we get 7 points from the next 3 games, I'll be sudden delighted. George, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. He says, I'll just have to put the shirt in an extra hot wash. That'll shrink it to fit me. George, an XL will fit you. Gordon Bennett, there's no on you, man. Southern Geordie, thanks for your $4.99. He says, nervous about these away games. Sorry for the missing penny. Same reasons as a previous viewer mentioned. It won't allow fiver. Don't worry, you're in the draw. Those of you that have just joined us tonight, we are giving away a Newcastle United blue and gold away top. All you need to do is super chat £5 or more to be in with a chance of winning it. But if you can only do $4.99 or $9.99, that is fine as well, because we understand that there is a problem with doing it on an iPhone for some stupid reason. But God knows what that is. I don't use one anymore. William Way, thank you for your $9.99 super chat. That's you in the draw twice. So you have an opportunity now of winning that. You've doubled your chances. So thank you very much for that as well. Julie J says, every time I predict a West Ham win, it bites me back and we lose heavily to them. So it's going to be a draw. Parky says, Chelsea could be 3-0 up against Liverpool. They've picked a very strange team, Liverpool, tonight, to be honest.
Smashing them.
We have in the chat the famous Fulham winger, Will I Am. The difference is that other teams can't just play for a point at this stage of the season, so that suits us. That's a good point, Alex, because West Ham situation they've got to come out and attack, haven't they? Or at least the fans will be expecting that.
I know. They've just watched their team concede possession against Southampton at home. So, and I would imagine most fans would consider us to be better than Southampton at the moment. So, no, I don't agree with that. I think that they will fully expect their lads to sit. I think the position they're in,
Alex, they've got to do something. They can't play the same way. They just can't.
I don't think they're gonna play for a draw necessarily, but I think they will treat us with the respect that we are the more aggressive and impressive team at the moment. I think they will show us respect in that regard, because we are, it's fair to say better than Southampton, who got 57% possession against them, and passing them around the park for parts of that game. So no, I think they're not going to play for a draw, but I think they will set up carefully and be very vigilant. They're not going to run all over the park, pressing and doing all this, that, and the other. It's going to be they'll try and put in a very rigid performance. Utilize some of their players like your Antonio and your Danny Ings and stuff like that, and try and get a bit of quality in, and maybe play for set pieces. They're going to have to be very careful to try and get anything out of the game. Yeah. Because if they open up at all, we can punish that. So.
Yeah. Richard, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. That's you in the draw. He says, how about some TTR pint glasses? We are working on that, actually. We are working on that. Some sort of beverage drinking merchandise. Sophia, well, there's the question. Will he start Wilson or Isak? For me, I don't think he can drop Isak. I really don't. Look, if he's going to rotate, then, play Isak 60 minutes and give Calm the last half an hour. I'll be very surprised if he changes the striker, Jack.
I will. Well, I'm not going to go too much into depth because we're doing the predicted lineup later on, so I don't want to say too much. No, I don't think he can. Yes, Wilson scored on Sunday, but he didn't really do much after that. And I know he didn't come on for that long, but Isak is a class player, and he really did. He's been showing it for the past few weeks. And just because he didn't score on Sunday, don't mean he didn't put in a class performance, because that's just not his all-round game. He's not a Shearer type player, is he? He's not a physical striker, number 9, out-and-out scorer. He's more of he plays more of a Thierry Henry type style game. He's more of a skillful player, switches to the wing, feeds in other players, and if he gets a goal, he'll get a goal. So he's that sort of player. And just because he didn't score, don't mean he didn't have a good game. So for me, you can't drop Isak. He's been having some class games, and he's really helped the team out a lot going forward.
Interesting. Up the A1, thank you very much for your fiver. Worth a shot. Got to be in it to win it. If not, it still proceeds to the best channel. Thank you very much, guys. Really do appreciate that. Julie J says, West Ham do have good fans, except for my other half. Wow. Okay. Villa winning again tonight. That's the game that worries me, to be honest.
I'm more worried about Brentford than I am Villa.
Yeah.
It's 1-1 now anyway.
Is it? Okay. Foxy says, West Ham were on a poor run of form when they played us last time, where we expected to win. The game turned out very different. Can't underestimate them. 3 points would be huge. Yeah, I mean, look, I think what we're saying is we're confident, and why not? You know, we've just absolutely mullered Man United, so why shouldn't we be confident? You know, it's fine to be confident as long as you're not overdoing it. Geordie Boy says, Paul, you sound sexy. Well, thank you very much, Geordie Boy. I appreciate that. I need to suck on a fisherman's friend. Billy, don't say a word to that comment. Look, he's biting his tongue. He's dying to. He's yeah, he is. He really is. Clive says, my only worry is burnout. But to reach the top 4, energy levels have to be high week in, week out, as great teams do. The intensity we play at is phenomenal. Do you think we can play at that same intensity constantly, Bill?
Well, we've done it before, haven't we? Before the World Cup, we had 3 games in a week and we did it. Yeah, I expect us to. Yeah, I expect us to. Absolutely.
Spike, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. He says, don't put me in the draw. Got the tops except the one that belongs on the Addams family walls. Yeah. Arturo pipes up with Conference League is shit. Well, thank you very much, Arturo. Really appreciate your fascinating comment on the Conference League there. Steve says, good evening. Still stoked with the win, and Shu will stuff the irons tomorrow. Geordie Awayman says, tough game tomorrow. I'll take a scrappy win all day. James says, looking forward, given we have a few players leaving this summer. How many signings do the panel feel we need for European football? It depends. We spoke about this, James. We need a big sort of clear out and an influx of players coming in, but it all depends what European competition. And I think that will dictate.
Craig Hope wrote about this today, didn't he? About how I don't know if Eddie Howe said this specifically. I think he might have done, but it was from Craig Hope about how there's potentially 3 different transfer budgets for the summer, depending on where we finish, which makes perfect logical sense. You know, it just depends. Completely depends.
Yeah. Arturo says, I think we played with high intensity yesterday, but not well. Arturo, I don't know what game you were watching, mate. I really don't. JP says, Moyes has been so defensive. West Ham have forgotten how to play. Right now, he and West Ham are the polar opposite to Howe and Newcastle United. That's a good point, actually. He's playing defensive for that long, Jack. They've now forgotten how to play any other way.
Yeah, and now at this sort of stage, if you don't want to go down, goals are key because goals win you games. Mm-hmm. So they are serious, and it's not the best time to start changing up this time of the season when you're coming up against some good teams who are trying to get in Europe. He will have to change it eventually, and he will have to go more attacking because they can score goals, West Ham. They can. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Moyes is such a defensive manager. He's kind of like... He's like Steve Bruce, really. I'm not saying he's as bad as Steve Bruce. I'm just saying he's too defensive.
That's a massive insult to David Moyes.
No, I didn't say it like that. I said that he's not worse than Steve Bruce, but he's a bit defensive. He's got a defensive-minded style of play.
Yeah. Jack, I think you best shut up now because you're digging yourself a grave. Thank you for that point. Glenn, thank you very much for your $4.99 super chat. That's you into the draw. Would be the most Newcastle thing ever to finish 4th and Man United win the Europa League and we miss out because of it. Let's not even go there. Irish Toon, welcome to Members Club. Thank you so much for signing up to membership. We've had a big influx of members over the last couple of days. Thank you very much and welcome to, as I say, Members Club. We have some graphics, guys. Hang on, we've got another super chat coming now. I'll hold my horses. Alan Tidwell, thank you for your $20. He says, thanks for the entertainment, guys. Newcastle win 3-0. How are the lads? I hope you're right with that. But to celebrate, obviously, the graphics again, get those emojis in the chat. There you go. Daisy's ready for tomorrow night. And I hope you, well, I mean, she's up for it. She's really up for it. Right, we'll come on to those. Wow, we've the chat has jumped dramatically. Moyes is becoming a dinosaur manager, says Trolls. Yeah, maybe so. Murphy interview with Rio Ferdinand was good. His response to why we waste time is we are tired as we are always sprinting. Yeah, I've seen that. It was a great reply. Leeds are 2-1 up against Forest. Wow. James says, laughing my ass off, Jack, you're brutal. Unfortunately, says John, I cannot donate super chat or super stickers. It does not allow me to use these features over here in the Isle of Man. Oh, John, I'm sorry to hear that, matey. I mean, now I know why Alex is so bloody tight with his money. It's obviously different world in the Isle of Man. Wow, super chats coming in. We got $4.99 from David R. Thank you, David. Worth a fiver just to see Daisy on the screen. And Mickey the Mag, thank you for your £5 super chat as well. You guys are into the draw. Right, Alex, let's have it.
So, stats. We're starting off with stats. So this is an important one. Goals conceded per match from West Ham. They're 15th in the league. They're conceding an average of 0.9 goals per game. So they're conceding a goal a game. No, that's goals scored. If I can get my things right, 15th for goals scored even at 0.9. So they're scoring a goal a game. But goals conceded per match is actually quite good. They're up in 6th, so they're not light years away from us. But of course, we're still at top with 0.7 goals conceded per match, which is it's just outrageously good. It's so good. But West Ham, proving that 1-1 is a probable scoreline anytime you play them based on these. So let's have a look at what I think they're going to play. Potentially.
Just before you do, Alex, we've got a £5 super chat from Angelica. She says what this win has shown is, well, I keep telling people, keep underestimating us, see how far it gets you. And Alicia, thank you for your £5 super chat. Definitely need a TTR pint glass or wine glass. Okay, Alex?
Yeah, so this is what I think they're going to play. Something like this. This is the FOTMob predicted lineup, and this is on a few other websites. It could be different. So I think this is a really balanced side. I think they should really be performing better with a side like this. Fabianski in goal was very, very solid. Great shot stopper, very experienced with Agerd and Zuma. Obviously, we don't like Zuma. Maybe some people are going to do some cat funnies again. Who knows? Exactly. Agerd, of course, scored against Southampton, is dangerous, he's a good player. He's somebody that we reviewed in a transfer show before he signed for West Ham. Very, very decent. Emerson and Kerr are very good. Of course, Kerr was, I'm pretty sure this was a PSG guy at some point. So they're no slouches. They've got good cover and good rotation. They've got Cresswell could come on, who's not a bad fullback at all. He's got a good free kick on him, a good left foot. You've got Ben Johnson that could come in as well as fullback. They've got a Bonner that could come in. They've also got Areola that could come in at goalkeeper. So they've got depth. I'm not buying this argument that they haven't got depth. The only thing they don't have is they don't have another Declan Rice, and not many teams do really. But they do have your Lanzinis that could come in, and other players, Fornals as well. So this again is a balanced midfield. Rice is obviously going to do a lot more of the running, the interceptions, whereas Souček is supposed to be more of the physicality, aerial drills kind of guy, whereas Paqueta can just kind of go and do his thing. But Paqueta is no slouch as well. He's quite tall. I'm pretty sure he's over 6 foot. We've reviewed him a bunch. We've got to be careful with him with his close control, especially these two go and wander about together. Bowen linking up, coming inside, and all doing funny things. So that is a danger. It does also depend on who plays. They've got Antonio. They could play Danny Ings. Of course, we don't like Danny Ings because he has a habit of occasionally doing well against us. Yeah, I prefer the last few times we played West Ham. Antonio's been quite anonymous. We've managed to force him into channel runs, and it's not really worked very well. Benrahma, again, one of those players that can be incredible, but doesn't seem to pull it off against us. Don't want to jinx that. We do have enough to stop this team, but they do have quality. We can look at us. I'm pretty sure. Is this our starting lineup? This was exactly our starting lineup. So the thing is Eddie Howe going to go with his old school, pick the same team sort of shebang, or is he going to rotate a little bit because it's when was it? Was it a Sunday fixture, Sunday to Wednesday? So they've had Monday, Tuesday, and then it's match day. So it's quite a quick turnover. He might play the same lineup for the Wednesday game and then do rotations for the weekend to come. Potentially, it could be. So the key ones are going to be Gordon, Joe Linton, and Wilson. These are going to be the three obvious ones. Who's going to come in? Unlikely to see Miggy again. So if we look at FOTMob, this is our prediction. This is what FOTMob think it's going to be, which is exactly the same as what we've got on the graphics. And if we scroll down, Miggy apparently it says late April on here for a strain. That's not the right word. A strain injury. Joe Willock as well, still in doubtful, but
he's trained today, Alex. He's been in training.
So the fact he's trained, this is one of the things that throws this midfield choice into question. Is he gonna bring Joe Linton in? So FOTMob have obviously done that, and they've put Joe Linton in here, thinking that he might, that might force him into kind of resting Willock for the weekend and bringing Joe Linton back into the starting lineup. And of course, Kraft is not far away from making a little comeback. He might start playing some games, sort of back end of April, early May. He might manage to maybe sneak a substitute appearance right at the end of the season if he's incredibly lucky. Bless him. And was that all I wanted to see? Oh yeah. So you can see here some recent performances from West Ham. So there's not really any losses here. They're not doing terribly at all. The last loss was to Brighton. Brighton are a great team at the start of March, so 4-0. But Brighton were pumping everybody in March, to be fair. They were doing incredible. There's the Larnaca game, so 2-0 and 4-0 over 2 legs. They managed to squeeze a 1-1 against Villa in between that and the win against Southampton. And of course, it's worth having a look at their depth as well. So Danny Ings is somebody that wasn't on the original graphics who could be an option for them. And if we scroll down, so Ariola's a great keeper. They've got Kufal as an option, of Bonner, Cresswell, Lanzini, Fornals. They've got Maxwell Cornet, who I've not even mentioned, who is available, who just obviously hasn't hit the heights. I think he's had a lot of problems this season. So there's a ton of options for them. And Skamaka, who obviously is out at the moment, somebody who we looked at in a transfer show, not having the greatest time. If we go down, his graphics have dropped off the cliff. They were considerably better. Obviously, we had a few reservations about him when we looked at him on a transfer show, as his time in Sassuolo, he was on 16 goals from 11 XG, you can see here. So he was outperforming his XG, was running a bit hot. There were a few reservations about whether he was going to cut it. Struggled at the moment, but he's still young enough at 24. But he's not going to be involved in this, so who cares?
Interesting. Very interesting. Look, Skamaka, I don't know what the hell's happened to him. I honestly don't. I mean, I remember, as you said, Alex, he was in our transfer shows, and we were all saying he looks a great player to get in. And when West Ham signed him, we thought he'd do really well.
I didn't think he'd flop. I didn't predict the flop.
But they haven't had a good, the strikers that they brought in, because who was the other guy that brought in a couple of seasons ago and he flopped and he's gone somewhere else? What was his name?
Sebastian Haller.
Haller, yeah. It didn't work out for him either.
Well, he's incredible. He went and smashed it up in the Netherlands and is now is it Dortmund? I think he's the guy who had a cancer diagnosis. He had to have chemotherapy to carry on, and then he's come back and is still playing. So
yeah, absolutely. A couple of super chats came in there. Julie J, £5. Thank you very much. She basically wants to smash the Hammers. And KB, thank you very much for your £10 as well. KB NUFC 73. That is you into the draw twice to win the shirt. Julie reckons that Ings will be in ahead of Antonio. Antonio's not hit the heights either. He's struggled with injuries and all sorts of things.
It's purely because obviously Ings played on Sunday. Obviously, a lot of publications are predicting Antonio to start.
He showed a bit of dissent when he came off the pitch as well. Ings, he was substituted and took off, and he showed a lot of dissent as he walked off. Wasn't happy.
Right. Phil Gow, thank you for your £5. Yes, he's up for pint glasses as well. Engraved. Engraved, I'm not sure about. We're not. It is just me and Susan, and I wouldn't trust myself engraving a glass. So thank you very much. But you're in the draw for the shirt. Jim says, could we get Paqueta from West Ham? He's obviously not happy there, and the manager keeps subbing him. Then Julie answers straight away with, don't think Paqueta is what we need. Is that done and dusted, Jack? Paqueta to Newcastle, it's not going to happen, is it?
No, there wasn't a slight bit of interest. If we were interested, we would have gone for him in the summer. So I think that's dead in the water. I feel like give him some time. I think he's a class player, but I just don't think he's a Newcastle player. Of course, I'd want him in Newcastle, but I just don't think Eddie Howe's interested.
Stu says, would you take Richarlison from Everton if they go down? Well, there's no Richarlison place for Everton. Is it a loan at Tottenham, or is it, I thought he signed?
Oh, permanent, 60 million.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. Stu, you've had a Castoria there, mate. John says, with that team, don't know how they're in relegation bother. They'll give us a tough test. Well, it's like people have said before. They have struggled. And I think it's down to the tactics of David Moyes. I think he's put the shackles on them. And it's backfired massively, and they can't get out of it. You know, they're used to playing in that way now, and they're just simply stuck in it. Martin Watson,
the results still aren't as bad as everybody's suggesting. You know,
No,
this entire page I can see of SofaScore goes back to the 25th of Feb. They've lost one Premier League game in that stretch back to the 25th of Feb. So it's, you know, it was their earlier season form that's kind of kept them hanging down there a little bit.
Yeah. Martin Watson, thanks for your $4.99. How are the lads? Thank you very much. You go into the draw. You've got about 10-15 minutes left to enter the draw. So if you haven't heard, we are giving away a Newcastle United away shirt, the blue and gold one tonight. If you super chat £5 or more, you go into the draw. So £5 will get you one entry, or $4.99 if you're on Apple. And $9.99 or £10 gets you two entries, and so on and so on. So get yourself, you've got about 10-15 minutes left to get yourself in the draw for that, and it will be officially made by Sean Dyche tonight. Keith Truscott, thank you very much for your £20 super chat. He says, more concerned with Brentford, to be honest. They will keep pressing like we do, and they won't be able to cope with us. So I'm going 2-0 tomorrow night, says Keith. 4 entries into the draw for Keith. Tom says, I would play the same team that beat Man United at the weekend. Billy, sorry, go on, Alex.
I was just going to say, if Willock's pulled a hamstring and needs a little bit of a break, then we can't do that, can we?
No, but the way he was jumping over hurdles and things today, then, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue, to be honest. But I guess we have to wait and see what that team lineup is tomorrow. Dave says, I think Miggy will find it hard to get back into the team the way we're playing at the moment. Who gets dropped if he wants to bring Joe Linton in after Maxi was excellent against Man United? But this is the thing, Dave. He's got options now. You know, he's got that depth that we haven't had for quite a while. And I think that's important, Billy, isn't it, to have that depth in the squad for the running.
Yeah, for instance, if Joe Willock is doubtful tomorrow, you just bring Joe Linton. You know, it's an away game. It makes us more solid having Joe Linton in the side as well. So we don't lose anything a lot going forward, and we do gain a lot defensively. So, you know, a bit of depth that we've been begging for all season. It seems to be coming all at once, doesn't it? You know, nice bench depth and things like that. So yeah, I mean, Eddie Howe though he tends to not change the winning side, does he? Let's be honest.
Well, no, he doesn't. Mary, thank you very much for your £5. You're into the draw. Thank you very much. John says, is Maxi more of a risk when we're away? Jack, what do you reckon?
No. It's not a very intimidating ground, the London Stadium, because they're all miles away. So I don't really think it's too much of a problem when Max is playing away, in my opinion.
I don't understand the question.
Well, I think he's trying to say, is Maxi more of a performer at home than he is away?
Was
that a risk?
Well, I see what he's asking there, because Maxi does thrive off the fans as well, because when he has a run at a defender, the fans get really pumped up and it makes them want to do it even more. But that's just Maxi's game, in my opinion. So I don't think it really matters home or away.
It's just a strange question. You could say the same. Would it be a risk to play Callum Wilson because he's funny form?
Well,
recently?
I
it's
think,
a stupid question. In my
if there
opinion.
was one,
No disrespect, but it's
it
just
isn't,
a Maxi
because
thing again.
we've seen players like that before in the past, Alex. You look at Wijnaldum; he never performed away from home. And he was very much accused of just being a homey type of player. So I can see what he means. Does Maxi get up for it more when he's playing in front of his home fans?
But I do remember him being good away from home quite a lot. This was a couple of years ago because obviously there was just no pressure. It was you just go and run at people, especially when the home team are trying to have more of the ball and trying to be more expansive. I don't get the question personally. I think it's strange.
Okay. Icelander 74, thank you for your 65 Swedish krona. That's you into the draw. And Peter Merrifield, thank you for your £5 as well. Good evening, Paul, Billy, Alex, and Jack. Okay. Icelander 74 went on to say, get the shirt to Sweden. How are the lads? Keep up the good work, guys, and welcome to Jack. Santo, thank you very much for your £5. Up the Toon review. Thank you very much. You go into the draw as well. Sophia says, okay, so I've missed 3 shows in 6 months. There's commitment for you. And I'm going to sound really blunt, but I still have no idea what XG stands for.
I did an explanation like last month,
yes.
Sophia. You must have not been here.
When was it?
It was quite recent. It was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think.
Go and check some previous shows. He did explain it. I think we did one. We did a show on XG a few months back. I'm sure we did.
I'll give you a very brief, shortened version if you want.
Go on then.
So it's just the quality of the chance, basically. So a penalty is typically anywhere from like 0.78 or 0.79. So you generally score a penalty 78 or 79% of the time based on the quality of the chance, because you've only got a goalkeeper in front of you. So if you're taking a shot from outside the box, it's going to be a much lower expected goals value because you're going to have maybe 3 or 4 defenders in front of you. It will take into consideration the angle to goal, the goalkeeper's position, a bunch of different things. And then it will work out an XG, an expected goals value, based on how likely you are to score in that situation. So it's a good way for us to assess. There'll be a few times, you'll have a guy's missed an easy chance, what we think is an easy chance, and then you actually go and look at the XG value and it'll be like 5%, like 0.05. And you're like, well, if people only score that opportunity typically 5% of the time, it obviously wasn't a tap in. So it's a good way to kind of grade quality of chances. That's it.
Stato, ladies and gentlemen, he's here all week. Superbly done. And I think that'll have settled Sophia down now to understand a little bit better what it is. Samsonite Dove, thank you for your 50.92 Danish krona, which, believe it or not, works out at £6.10. Incredibly. So thank you, Samsonite. I suppose he's allowed as many cheeky gripes as he wants, since I called him Samsonite Dave for about a year before I realized it was Dove. But there you go. Larry says, real question is, would you have had Ben Arthur back on a free? No, I think those days have gone.
I would have done
last season.
When was
probably.
It? Yeah, there was. I think there was a time when he was on a free. Was it not the January just gone? The one before. I think he was on a free, and I'd have taken him then, but not now. No, he's way too past it now.
How old is he now? He must be 37, 38. He's got to be.
I think he's got to be 37 or something.
Yeah, he must be.
I think he signed a 6 month. He signed a 6 month short term contract with Lille. I think when Botman was still there, because he was putting in the word basically.
Interesting. Roger says, is West Ham a big enough team for Maxi? So again, another thing is, is it just the big teams that he performs against? I would say no to that, because he performed really well at Wolves before he got injured. He got us the equaliser as well. Would-be Farmer says, some folks do well at home, some do better away. I've seen this in business. Some folks do better on the road. Ian says, should be more space for Maxi away from home. Keith says he can see Big Joe starting for us. It's a tough decision for him. It is literally, because he's, to leave Joe out is massive. One game, but to leave him out consistently over two.
Imagine if he'd have scored that header as well. That'd have made it really difficult.
Yeah. Did that hit the bar, or did De Gea save that? I couldn't see from where I was sitting.
Both, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I knew I'd seen De Gea go up into the air, but I wasn't sure whether it had.
You were right twice
on target.
Did we hit the post again on the rebound?
No,
that came with Martial.
All right. Okay. Right. Oh, fair enough. I was at the other end, so I couldn't see. All I know is I thought we'd hit the bar. John says, just to clarify, Maxi seems to thrive on a big positive home atmosphere at St James's and is perhaps more inclined to get back defensively with urging from the Toonami. It's an interesting point. It is, because, we've seen players like that in the past, like I say. But look, there's only one person is going to put that to bed, and that's Maxi himself. If Maxi goes out tomorrow and plays like he did on Sunday, then that's put to bed. Hopefully, Maxi to me looked 100% fitter than what I've seen him over recent weeks. He looks back to full fitness. He's flying. And that's when Maxi's at his best, when he doesn't have these little niggles and he goes out and just goes for it. And that's what he did against Man United. So,
and plus, Man United didn't double up on him, did they? They didn't really. I mean, Anthony made token efforts to get back and help. West Ham probably will double up on him. It's in his remit to be defensive. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's potentially a reason for that. It's because Isak was central, pulling people left, right, and centre. Which is what I was always whinging about. Was especially in that extended period of time where Maxi was having to play next to Chris Wood. They were just like, leave the donkey. We're just going to triple up on Maxi. Sorry, Chris Wood, but it is what it is. Whereas Isak, they're terrified of Isak as well. They're an equal threat at driving forward because they're both exceptional dribblers. So Maxi's got that extra space now.
Yeah. Greg Pearman, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. That is you into the draw. Good evening, guys. Great show. Would love Diaby in the summer. Who wouldn't, my friend? Who wouldn't?
Ben Alpha's 35 as well.
Is he only 35?
Yeah, I've got the stats up if you want to see. I
can't believe you, mate. I believe
how
you.
we got this guy. I've got him up on FB Ref, and literally before we got him, he won the league with Lyon first, Marseille second, Marseille first, Marseille second, and then we got him. This just goes to show that the caliber of player he was when we got him, the potential at 23 years old, he was meant to be a Ballon d'Or winner. He came through the ranks with Benzema and was an absolute freak. Just had questionable work ethic.
Well, look,
he was meant to be.
We've seen him score freaky goals. But look, he hasn't played since last year. He hasn't got a club. Right. He's 35-year-old now. It'll take him so long to get back to full fitness.
It still makes me sad the way Pardew treated him. And if anyone has any kind of sympathy for Alan Pardew and the way he was treated by the fans, just say the word Ben Arthur. He ruined him at our club. Absolutely ruined him.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Sophia, this is probably why you don't know or didn't know in the past what XG was. She says, I zone out when you're talking about stats. Well, you've just barefaced insulted Alex by saying that. I mean, he's going to end this show tonight and just be depressed the rest of the evening, knowing that you zone out.
To be fair to Sophia, 43% of people do.
Okay. Where's that stat come from, Billy?
My arse.
Fair enough. David says, is Alex using some Just for Men on that beard? Well, I just commented before the show. He says he hasn't had time to shave. He's got that pointy beard that looks like Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon.
It's not been touched at all. Literally, I've not done anything. I've not been dyeing it. I've not been doing anything to anything because
Yeah, there you go. Stephen says it was awesome seeing Keith Gillespie in Shearer's Bar on Sunday. I hope he wasn't having a bet on the result. I highly doubt he was. But yeah, it is great to see all the old guys, former players coming back. It is really good. Sophia goes on then to say, thank you, Alex. So there you go. She's just absolutely verbally battered you, and then she says thank you. But there you go. Geordie Lad says, can this game decide our fate, seeming it is our game in hand?
Haven't we got 2 on Spurs?
We've got 2 on Spurs, yeah. No, no, it won't be fate deciding. Absolutely not. We've got still a long way to go. Yeah, definitely. Okay, Craig Lee says West Ham right back is probably the worst I've seen this year. ASM should have him on toast.
Is he? I've not watched him that much. I remember him being good from. No, it's Kehrer from PSG.
Oh, that's it.
Unless he's.
Yeah, I always thought Kehrer was a good player. I mean, I used to sign him a lot when I used to.
I haven't watched him a lot at West Ham though. Maybe he's having a bad season. I don't. He doesn't look too bad.
I think you've got to be Kehrer an allowance, to be honest.
Oh, Billy, dear me!
I swear he's a centre back because I've got him on Ultimate Team.
Look, the 2 young'uns, they just didn't get that at all, did they? It just went right over their heads, that joke, Billy.
He can be a centre back, but
that's it, yeah.
Billy,
sorry, I'm looking at pages.
I'll acknowledge that joke, Billy. I got it. It was very quick off the bat. Poor, but quick off the bat. Roadblock, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. He says, given our attacking strengths and options now, our brick wall defence and massive midfield, how does anybody set up to play us? We're a manager's nightmare. Lowest goals against in England, 3rd best goal difference. Very good point. Managers are having to come up with different things now to try and beat us, and it's fabulous.
I mean, only Barcelona have conceded fewer than us in Europe now.
Yeah. Craig says Shah got a kick to the head when he headed the ball. No replay or VAR. Yes, we've.
You could just copy and paste that comment into any game.
Most games he's been kicked in the head. Stephen says, I remember when Maxi made Zabaleta retire in a game for Newcastle against West Ham. He tore him apart. I remember that one as well. Yeah. Levi says, oh my God, you've got Elliot Anderson on. No, that's just his doppelganger, Jack. Have you ever been compared to Elliot Anderson by anybody else?
No.
I can see the resemblance, to be honest.
There is
I can.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
I think it's your hairstyle, Jack. You need to stop putting that dish on your head when you cut your hair. He hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about.
It's a bowl cut.
I know what you're talking about, but where you got that from?
Because some cornflakes still in it.
Oh, he's got it shaved at the back. He's gone for the hard man image.
He has, yeah.
Sorry, Jack, but if you're going to be part of this channel, you've got to take the flak, mate, because I've took enough of it over the time we've been on air. And so have these two. I get it mainly from them too. It's nice to have somebody to deflect it onto now. My young apprentice. Irani Granny says, I can concur. Alex is always whinging. Oh, well. Well, there you go.
Who's he concurring with? I didn't hear the original comment.
I don't know, but something's well, you know
what the chat's like as well. That's probably where we got it from as well.
Yeah. So, what you're trying to call yourself a full kit wanker now, Jack? Is that what you're calling yourself?
Well, no, I've got jogging bottoms on, and
okay, that's fair enough.
Plus, I've even got Joel Linstock back as well. So,
all right, that's enough, Jack. You've
I'm just making my point. I'm just making my point.
Hey, you never know. You might be walking around somewhere and somebody comes up to you and say, "Can I have your autograph, Elliot?" What would you do? Would you sign it or would you walk away?
Walk away.
Oh, come on. If it was a really good-looking woman, Jack, a good-looking girl around your age, swooning over you, what would you do?
I'd knock the booklet out of the hand and walk away.
All right, fair enough. That's violent. But fair enough. Ian says, Jack Elliot Anderson. Nah, Billy Elliot, maybe. Now, the way Jack looked there, he's obviously been compared to Billy Elliot in the past.
I've never seen the film.
He's not saying anything, is he? He's staying very quiet on that one.
Is it that dancer?
Yes. There's nothing wrong with being a dancer. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people have made a good
I'm
career
not-
out of that.
No. Yeah, no.
Clive says the next Toon review, Jack's going to come on sporting a number 2 all over. Shamrock says they're just jealous of your hair, Jack. That's probably the reason. Indeed, that me and Billy have none, so we can't actually do anything for a hairstyle.
Nostalgia. It's nostalgia, isn't it, Paul, for us?
It is, Billy. Yes. Yeah, 100% agree. Right, it is time for team predictions now. Billy, we'll start off with you. What's your 11 for tomorrow?
We're just going on past form, what Eddie Howe's always done in the past when we've won a game, and we've always kind of gone with rotation. He never does it, so I'm going for the same 11 as Sunday. So Pope in goal, Trippier, Share, Botman, Byrne, Bruno, Joe Willock, Longstaff, Maxi, Isak, and Murphy.
Fair enough. Right, you got a 2-minute warning for the shirt, guys. If you want a last-minute super chat for the shirt, £5 or over, you go into the draw. 2 minutes to go on that, and then we will do it. Barbara says, I think he's a spit for that Jack on Toon TV. He does look a bit like him. Yeah, he does look a bit like him, actually.
I'd love to look like him one day.
Yeah. Right, Jack, what's your team?
Same as Billy's, unchanged. Pope, Botman, Share, Trips, Byrne, Longstaff, Willock, Bruno, Isak, Murphy, Maxi. I think it's just a solid team, and I don't see any need changing it.
Interesting. Alex?
I think it's going to be Pope, Trippier, Share, Botman, Byrne, and then I think it's going to be Bruno, Longstaff with Joe Linton in midfield. Just purely based on Willock's tweak, and because of how much he actually put himself about on Sunday as well. He was everywhere. With Maxi, Isak, Murphy, but I can't get rid of the feeling that he might start Wilson in this game.
Interesting. I think that's a big shout if he does, given how well.
I think it's more likely. I think it's more likely he'll play Isak, but
interesting. Will's just asked a quick question there. Of course, Mitrovic has got an 8-match ban. Do we think that's fair?
No.
Yeah, I do.
I do too.
I'm not sure I do. I think 5 games would have been enough for me, given that that ferret-looking prick Fernandez didn't get anything for what he did with the linesman. And I think a few footballers have actually come out in defence of Mitrovic and said, "Look, he was trying to get the referee's attention. It wasn't sort of anything." I know you're not supposed to grab the referee. I realise that, but in the heat of the moment, frustration. He just, yes, it's a warning to everybody else. Don't do it. But for me, I think 5 would have been enough. Just
I don't know, because players get close to that for just really dangerous tackles in open play. So surely you need to send a message, that this is a lot more severe than just a dangerous tackle in open play. It's more serious than an accident. You don't touch the officials that you're meant to show respect to. And the decision is also separate from all the Fernandez stuff. Like, I agree, he should also have a ban for that. But you've got to judge it on a case-by-case situation, haven't you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the reason being with the Bruno Fernandes incident is because the linesman grabbed him first. That's the reason why.
I'd grab Bruno Fernandes first and all, put him on the floor. Anyway, Zishan, thank you for your $4.99 super chat. He says, "Hi guys, just read that Hugo Ekitike is up for sale by PSG. Do you remember that name?" Yes, we remember it. And are we going to talk about it? No. He had his chance. He bottled it. Gone. Chris Murray, thank you for another $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Ashley 80 says Paul's favourite French boy is up for sale. Yes, he is, but no way. Jack, if you want dancing lessons, I think Sophia's offering them. My mum's a dance teacher, and I've done it since I was 5.
Pass. Bye-bye. Okay. No, pass.
Mighty quick. Susan says, Billy, you turned into Casper the Ghost for a second there. Yeah, you did.
It's Casper Green.
Maybe it's that other one from Ghostbusters. What was his name? Slimer or something? Do you remember Slimer?
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, dear. Anyway, my team would be Nick Pope, Trippier, Shea, Botman, and Byrne. Midfield, Bruno, Sean Longstaff. And I have to agree with Alex. I think you might go with Joe Linton. If there's any sort of niggle and doubt to Willock, I think you put Willock on the bench and bring him on.
It makes sense.
I think if there's any sort of risk, he won't risk him. Knowing that he's had problems with hamstrings and stuff, little slight tweaks. He doesn't want to put him on and completely tear the hamstring. So for me, I think it's just a risk that Eddie won't be prepared to take.
He's got cover, so we use it.
Chelsea won up against Liverpool.
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
If Liverpool lose that tonight, their top 4 dreams are done.
Yeah, I reckon they are. No, no chance. Now, as for the front three, I'm going with Maxi. Oh, this is tough. Given Wilson's record against West Ham, will Eddie look at that? But no, I'm going with Isak. I think it will be criminal to drop Isak. I really do. But on the right, I'm going to put a bit of a surprise up here. I think he'll rest Murphy and Gordon will start. I think he'll get about 60 minutes out of Gordon. That's just my opinion. And of course, has it cancelled it off?
He's handballed in.
Are you kidding?
There you go.
Havertz.
Yeah, I think
come on.
I think he'll play. I think Gordon might start. I just have a feeling, but I have been right in the past about these things. But one of the few things I've been right about. But there you go. I Like Coffee says I get my dancing lessons from Daisy the cow on the Toon review. Why not?
Why not? On a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Hey, who doesn't want to ride a wrecking ball? Billy, shut up. I just no. No. Anyway, right, we'll move on to the score predictions before we do the draw. Jack.
I wrote it down somewhere. Would you like that?
Well, no, but you've just put a bloody orchestra through my eardrums there with you banging your mic like that.
Very,
Christ
very
on a bike.
I've gone 2-0. But a convincing 2-0, not a scrappy 2-0. Like the Man United game. I feel like we'll miss quite a few chances, but I feel like we'll score 2. And you know what? I'm feeling spicy today. I'm feeling.
Don't say that when you're on air with Billy, Jack. How many times?
I'm feeling a Trippier free kick.
Right.
And I'm feeling. What did I write? And a maximum goal as well.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Alex?
Oh, I don't know. I've got something in my. I've got something. I was thinking about it earlier, but you're not going to like it.
Oh,
not
I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm a little bit nervous. It might be one of those 1-1 games though. But I'll go with a 2-1. I think Longstaff's going to get one. I think he's looking really sharp. I think 6 weeks ago we were saying, "Oh, Willock's looking sharp again. It looks like goals are coming," and they did. I think Longstaff's getting in the right positions, and I'll go with. I think Isak's to get back on the score sheet. I don't think he's going to be off the score sheet for very long with the way he's playing.
yeah.
So 2-1.
Okay. Billy?
Yeah, I think they're going to sit behind the ball in a low block, but I think we have got the quality to break them down. So I think we'll score pretty early doors, and I think that'll bring West Ham out, but I think we'll win 3-2. I think it'll be a high-scoring game.
Wow, 3-2, bloody hell. Who's
your
your scorers, Billy?
Isak with 2, and I'm going to say Bruno.
Interesting. Personally, I don't see West Ham scoring against us. I think our defence is so rock solid at the minute. We look really good, and I think it's this back 4 or back 5, if you include the goalkeeper, is so hell-bent on clean sheets. It means the world to them. You can see what it means to them after every game, after every clean sheet. So I think I'm going for 2-0 as well. And I'm going to go for... I think Longstaff might get one tomorrow, and a header from Sven Botman.
I mean, when we're like 4-0 up against Fulham, was it? And we conceded that late-ish goal. You saw Botman having a fit. Honestly, that's how much it means.
Oh, they love it.
Sheets them.
They love it.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge for them. By the way, the Botman goal I'm saying is just out of pure hope that finally he gets his nut on one.
I think he's the only one out. I think it's him and Pope. We don't expect Pope to score, but I think apart from Pope, he's pretty much the only one who hasn't scored.
He needs that monkey off his back, and hopefully it'll come sooner rather than later.
Burns not scored in the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's true, but he has bagged one this season.
Competitions.
Yeah. Right. Let me have a look here where we're going. Okay, the draw for the Newcastle United shirt. Let me just go through this. Norvik, thank you for your £5 at the end there. Really appreciate that, mate. So we've got one. Bloody hell. Right. Okay. So start there. Just counting up how many people's entries and then right. Okay. Alex, you can pick tonight. I need a number between 1 and 36. Now, bear in mind, I've juggled them up, so it's not who made the first one or anything like that. I have juggled all the entries up between 1 and 36.
I'm going to go for 36 because it's Longstaff's number.
Okay. 36. And the winner of the Newcastle United shirt is 12th man Toon. 12th man Toon, you have won the shirt. Now, he has to still be in the chat, remember? So we'll wait for a comment to come in to see if he's in there. Ian says, only joking, Jack, you're a credit to the Toon review. Absolutely is. Tom says, great show tonight. Thank you very much. Yes, 12th man Toon, simply with a get in. Well done, matey. You have won the shirt. Was it him that it's his birthday? Oh, wow. There you go. Well, Alex has just given you a perfect birthday present there, matey. So very well done to 12th man Toon. Can you make sure that you email me your full name and address? The email address is down at the bottom of the description of this show. And just send that in to me as soon as you can with your full name and address, and we'll get that get off to you. Oh, by the way, he says it's not really my birthday, by the way. Oh, should we take the shirt off him?
Nah, that's cool, that.
Should we be absolute twats?
That's cool.
He says it's just my sob story. Nah, you came out of the draw anyway, to be honest. So it doesn't matter whether it was your birthday or not. You were pulled out the draw. So that's so if you can send me your details, and we'll get that off to you. Right, that is it for the review. What time's kickoff tomorrow?
8.
Every 10 minutes.
Yeah, in our favor. In West Ham's kicking off all the time, hopefully, when they concede loads of goals. But hey ho. Right, guys, thank you very much. I will be on air from 7:30 tomorrow night with all the build up to the match kicking off at 8, and then followed by full play-by-play commentary of the game. We'll see if Billy and Alex will join at half time and full time for an analysis, depending on where they might be in the world. If Alex is out boozing, then he won't be on, but Billy will. But anyway, hopefully we'll be celebrating another win come the review show, because we're going to have to fit a review show and another preview show in before the end of the week, guys, because we play Brentford at good old 3:00 on Saturday. So we may have to say ta-ra to TDR Friday this week. But listen, the matches are way more important. But look, join me from 7:30 tomorrow. Watch it on Sky. Take the commentary off and listen to me, and then you'll get a proper balanced, sort of balanced commentary on the game. And it'll be good fun. Thank you to everybody that super chatted tonight. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, that it goes to the channel, and we really do appreciate that. So thank you very much. There'll be more giveaways, of course. There'll be a members giveaway tomorrow during the watch along as well. So thank you very much. Thank you to all the new members. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel and you like what you've seen. I think we're about 70 away from 18,000 now. So we are very, very close. So please share the channel, do what you have to do, guys. And hopefully we'll get there sooner rather than later. And it'll be a massive, massive achievement. Massive. And then we will continue onwards and upwards. So thank you very much. Do hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or upload a show or a recording. And of course, hit the like button. Very, very important that you do that, everybody. Thank you very much to Jack, to Billy, and to Alex. Mods, thank you very much again for being bloody wonderful. But thank you mainly to all you viewers out there for keep coming back to the channel. Keep interacting with us. That's exactly what we want. So I will see you tomorrow night at 7:30 for the watch along. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys. Good night.
How will the last come on?